Hello, everyone. I've had a couple requests to go over some curriculum. So today I'm going to start with some different math curriculum that we've tried or that I've been highly recommended to myself. And today we are going to start with Saxon. So this is Level 1, Grade 1 Saxon. It's going to tell you what materials you need to prep. And then it starts out with a morning meeting, and it gives you your dialogue. It tells you exactly what to say. You don't have to stress over that. You go through the calendar. So you're going to talk about the date, and it's got a calendar for you in the meeting book here. Let me get to the right one. So you're going to write down the date for the day. Make sure you put the year on there. And then it wants you to go over the weather. You're going to chart your weather for the month. It also has, here you go, you're going to count every day that you do a lesson. Like I said, it'll have you write out the date. You have pattern blocks. You'll give them a pattern. This is for upper level too. You're going to give them dimes and pennies. But anyway, they haven't gotten to that yet by lesson 12. But it's going to go over the calendar, tell you exactly what to say. Your weather graph, counting that I showed you. They're going to go over the clock. Practice your right and left, and then the actual lesson is going to, again, tell you what to say. And this one was fun. You can use stuffed animals. You have counting bears. You have the snap blocks that you can use. Level 1 is pretty fun, where it's got a lot of hands-on manipulatives with it. But in Saxon, one of the things, it is kind of worksheet heavy. Here it has you practice your numbers, fill in the colors, follow directions. I think 11A is for one day, and then you do another sheet the second day. Just have you practicing. So Saxon is considered worksheet heavy for those who love worksheets, and it has some hands-on manipulatives for the earlier grades. It's a really good curriculum for you. Jackson did not like it. He got very bored immediately. Angela, I thought she would love it. She loves worksheets, and she did not take to it right away. So I went with a different route. I like it. I think it's a lot of fun. I love doing the worksheets, but each child is different, so you got to figure out what works for your child. So that is Saxon. So next up is Right Start Math. This is what my daughter Angela took to, loves it. It is high in the beginning. For your beginning set, especially for the younger grades, your manipulative set, it can be very costly. Once you buy it, you're good for a very long time. That I do have to bring up. It's high cost in the beginning. But let's see what it looks like. So this is what a lesson in Right Start Math looks like. This is the beginning level, level A, so it's very basic. And really they are just wanting the child to recognize patterns, be familiar with numbers. It does give you like your objectives, the materials you need up front, and it does give you a dialogue. Many of them do. And then here it's going to give you, like, here's tiles that you can work on patterns. They love the tally sticks so that you practice recognizing numbers and patterns. They've got bead cards, hands, all sorts of different ways just for pattern and number recognition at the youngest level. They also have a cute little book and song, Yellow is the Sun, where again they're just recognizing their beginning numbers Yellow is the sun, this is only one. Why is the sky so blue? Let me show you too. It's very heavy in manipulatives, it's very heavy in games. So my daughter Angela is in level B, and I'm sorry, my hand is shaking here. But here's kind of a peek at what the next level kind of looks like. And they do use some worksheets. It is not heavy in worksheets, but there are some worksheets. They're going to add 1 to the number, then they're going to add 10 to the number, and add 100. Angela really likes Right Start Math because it's heavy on manipulatives, heavy on games. She needed a lot of repetition. We did games over and over until she could remember her sums of 10. We did games over and over because she struggled with a lot of that short-term memory. So even her teens, we worked a lot on just doing Go Fish with 14 and 15. And that's something that Right Start Math is really good for. Another good option if you like games, repetition, heavy on manipulatives, another good option would be Math with Confidence. That's what my sister uses, but I don't think it requires the rigid manipulative set like Right Start Math does. I think it uses more like household items like a deck of cards or dice or something that's easier to get a hold of. So if you want something more on that end, Math with Confidence might be a good option for you. Next up is Life of Fred. My son Jackson is an auditory learner, and so he has gravitated towards Life of Fred. He loves it. So it starts in the elementary series, apples and butterflies, and it's alphabetical. They go all the way up to Jelly Bean. Now Jackson is in the middle school books, the intermediate series. Kidneys, he's actually in liver right now. Kidneys, mineshaft, and then it goes on into fractions. I just got algebra. Not that he's going into algebra just yet, but it was free, so I had to grab it. But anyway, to get you a look, let's see, chapter 1, it gives you a story to read. So going to give you a little story to read. It will talk about time. It's going to talk, kind of goes into a bunch of different topics. Here he's counting pencils, looks like. And then at the end of the chapter, your turn to play. This is where they get to practice the problems. And then on the other side, after you've done them, it gives you the answer, so you don't have to figure it out on your own, thank goodness. So that is up to you. If you want your child to have a sheet of paper and do it all on paper as well, I actually do it verbally. I read him the questions, he gives me the answer verbally, and I write it down. There are times when it asks him to draw something, which I will ask him to draw, but here's chapter 2. And again, this is apples. This is the very first one, so it's very basic. But they do go into, he does go into different topics. There's the clock again, so we talk about time again. And your turn to play. In the beginning, I actually made him his own little Fred and Kingy doll puppets that we talked about when we read the story. He really liked that. And then later on, a couple years later, I found the plush. How adorable is that? We don't even use them anymore because he's older, but I just thought it was too cute. I had to get them. But anyway, like I said, this is very good for auditory learners, anyone who struggles dysgraphia or handwriting, I highly recommend this. It's not for everybody. Again, my daughter needs repetition, needs hands-on games, and he hates that. He wants it done and over with, do the problems, that's it. So that is Life of Fred. Another really popular program is Math-U-See. They do use blocks for the manipulatives. I've heard that's been very helpful. When I looked through it, I didn't think it was for us. It has a sheet. The sheets are lists full of problems. And again, we didn't go through it, so I could be completely off, but it just looked too overwhelming for my kids. We have very unique learners, but that is another option that some people really, really love. So another one is Mequon or Myquon Math, which is what my mother used to teach me and my siblings. It is a worksheet book, and then they also use the Cuisenaire rods, and I'll show you that in a minute. I did not like math. I hated math. I cried every day. I traumatized my siblings because I cried every day during math. But that's another option if you like hands-on. I remember the graph charts, you jump the things over it, and like I said, I'll show you the Cuisenaire rods that help with that too. So here's the rods here. What you do is, this is 10. I think this is very similar to Math-U-See as well. You've got 10 here, so 9 plus 1, and I can't do this watching my phone, equals 10. So that's another way that you can do your addition and subtraction. My mom also followed up with the Key2 series, which introduced fractions, decimals, algebra. I remember going through several algebra books. And again, that is strictly worksheets. There's no lesson, no dialogue to go with it. So again, for me, that was tough for me, I think. I did not do well with that one personally, but that's what my mom had, so that's what we did. And then later I remember going into Saxon algebra, which was at that level had like a page to read over and then problems. And if you got the teacher's manual, you would actually get all the answers to the problems. I went through Bob Jones for geometry, absolutely hated it. I know this is all horror stories. This was back in like the 90s and 2000s of what was available and what was cheap, or what she could find at the time. They didn't have the resources that we have today. But anyway, Bob Jones is what I used for geometry, and I absolutely hated it. So I'm hoping maybe with some of these other ones that my kids are doing, maybe I'll actually understand geometry better. But anyway, I think there's one more that I would like to discuss, and then I will say goodbye. Lastly, I did want to mention Danica McKellar. She's actually a famous, the only word I can think of is artist, famous actress from TV shows, but she is actually really good at explaining math. And I picked up the one for multiplication and division when Jackson was going into that. And so I'm going to show you what that looks like. The times machine is what I'm going to show you. And then I was really looking for something that would explain fractions and percentages. I thought if there was something similar to that, he would really love. And so I picked up The Math Doesn't Suck. I ordered it from Amazon, and it is not at all like the other book. This is geared for older girls. And so it's more like magazine reading, I think. So I was really disappointed with that one. If that's something that you think your daughter would be really interested in, hit me up and offer me something, because it's probably going to get sold. But I'm going to show you the times machine because that was really amazing. So this is the times machine, and I love it because it looks like a comic book. And here is the author, Danica McKellar, and she's having a conversation with these cute little critters and explaining math. And Jackson loved it. And here Then they've got game time. They've got problems. I'm trying to see if I can get to, they talk about the multiplication chart and how you can use it. There's your, let's see. Oh, I forgot to get that. I'll get that in a minute. Anyway, it's going to go over your memorizing your multiplication facts. But I love this book, Group of Monkeys. Let's see here. So here they discuss the threes. And they've got these cute little stories to help you remember. And these pictures to help you remember your facts. And you've got your fact family. And I actually printed them out, cut them out, and made little memory cards with these. And it was such a good introduction to multiplication and division that we went straight through this book and then came back to Life of Fred. So I found them. I made these cute little memory cards. And it's got the story on the back. And they always rhyme, right? In the sun, that's sweaty fun. 3 times 7 is 21. And there's your picture to help you remember your fact. And so I just made them into these. And then 9. 9 is just that chart that they discuss. But anyway, I just thought these were super cute and super easy to remember. It was at least a good introduction to multiplication and division. So that is all the math curriculum that I have or can show you. There are so many others that I know so many people love to use. The Good and the Beautiful have a lot of fun toy game kinds. Beast Academy is more comic book looking. Bob Jones, BJU is what it's called now. There's just so many out there, but that's what I can show you. What we have, again, we have unique learners, so I have very unique curriculum at my house. But if you ever want to come over and try some out, look through it a little bit more than what the video is, come on over. I highly recommend if you also want to look through YouTube. I do a lot of reviews on YouTube when it's time to look at curriculum, just to kind of at least get a flip through. If you can go to the Hillbilly Book Barn out in Blountville, that is such a good opportunity to open up the book and look at what it looks like and kind of get an idea of what the program is. I would highly recommend that too. I do that a lot. That is like my jam, is to go to that place and just flip through and see what we got. But anyway, if you want to check out some other types of curriculum, you can comment on the video, or you can comment on my page, The Learning Room, Southwest Virginia, and just let me know kind of what you want to look at and see. Thanks, bye.